Funding for this episode of The Gaming Trouge has been provided by viewers like you. Thank you. Have you ever played a video game that just sucked the color straight out of you? Like your entire world got turned upside down just because this one game exists and you just don't know how to feel. After enjoying the high-flying adventures of Sonic Advance 2, I was expecting the same going into Sonic Advance 3. But then something crazy happened. I started up the game and everything just started falling apart from the moment I loaded up the game until I stopped recording it because I couldn't take much more of it. I knew deep down in my heart of hearts that I wasn't going to enjoy this game like I did the other two games, but it couldn't be that bad, I thought. I mean, this game has two-player tag team mechanic, at least that's what it seemed like it was doing. I was able to choose between Sonic or Tails. The other characters I had to unlock through the story mode, so I thought, okay, time to pick Sonic and Tails. And the second I started moving with Sonic, it was so slow, like the life force just got sucked out of him. He didn't have his normal moving speed that he did in the previous games. He was really slow. That, and this game has hub worlds akin to something like Kirby Adventure, or something a bit more modern, Pizza Tower. But then I started on Route 99, and I'm like, okay, it's time for another Sonic adventure. But as I kept playing it, it just felt off. I couldn't put my words into it, and I was scared on how I was going to be able to articulate it. I found a chow, but it says that I needed 9 of them. I couldn't understand it, and then my community members said that that was for getting all the chaos emeralds in the game. As I didn't care to get all the chaos emeralds in the last 2 games, I thought, screw it, I don't have to worry about all this chow anyway. So I keep going, and the game just feels very sluggish in the hands. Couldn't figure out how to use my partner character at all. It was very ridiculous, and I was getting kind of sick of playing as Sonic in a Sonic game, so I switched over to Tails, and Tails played a lot better than Sonic. I was actually making progress in the game without wanting to throw my controller out the window. Also, this first boss fight with Eggman is possibly the worst boss fight I think I've ever played in any video game ever, and this is the first boss fight. It's so unfair, and it cheats. But I still couldn't figure out what the white bumper did, because the game says that that's how you use your special, like, partner moves, but it didn't tell me where I can use said partner moves at all. And you're probably wondering when I'm going to start talking about the worlds and the levels in this game. Well, unfortunately, it feels like all the positives I have with other worlds and other 2D Sonic games, heck, even other games in general, do a better job than this game, because this game is the definition of cookie cutter. Take what worked in the original and just throw it in here without finding out what made it work to begin with. I will say that the music is really good in this game, but music alone can't save a video game product, even if the songs and remixes are very catchy. I feel like a word to describe this video game was bloated. It was bloated with a bunch of different possibilities. It was too ambitious for its own good, and it just made me feel super sad, and I didn't even feel like playing it after the first 2 worlds of the game. It felt like a game that was just going to drag on and on and on and on. Even in the community that I wanted to chat with people that I wanted to talk about this game with, that couldn't help me for how bland and lifeless this game has just felt. Hearing the same Child Garden music anytime I booted up the game, just trying to play the game without dying, quick saving to try to save back on back time, and it's just, I was tired. It felt like this game has sucked the color from my entire soul. I felt like Garfield in Garfield in the Rough, where my entire color just came out of my existence. The Sonic franchise used to be very special to me, and I wasn't getting it by playing this game. Was this game bad? Was this game broken? Am I broken? Many people love this game from what I've talked to, and they said that it's a pretty good, solid 2D Sonic game. But I couldn't feel anything when I was playing this. It didn't feel like the classic era of Sonic games. It didn't even feel like the Sonic Advance games. I think this game broke me in a different way, because this didn't feel like a Sonic game to me. This feels like Nintendo trying to make a Sonic game, and it took all the worst aspects of Sonic Advance 2 and 1. And the amount of deaths I've suffered from this game, you would have thought I was playing Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, because this game for some reason is the hardest 2D Sonic game I've ever played in my entire life. There came a moment where I took a break and I had to escape. I joined a couple friends' live streams to try to break through this crazy facade, none of them knowing what I had to experience and what I truly felt in my brain. Even try catching up on some shows that I've been watching lately just to make sure I get my money's worth out of Crunchyroll. But then I remembered I have a job to do. There's projects I want to tackle, the stories I want to see beyond this game. But if I were to cover any of that, I would have to face this demon head on. So once again, I trembled out of my couch, went straight back to my desk, and like a lightning ball of fire, I went back and I took on this game head on. And after one last attempt, Sonic Advance 3 is the game that broke my soul. This game does all the things that I hate about a Sonic game, and it just makes it all feel like nothingness. I can't get angry at this game the same way I got angry at, say, Shadow the Hedgehog, for example, but the point still stands that this game is just nothing. It's just nothing. It's boring. It's filler. And like the stuff that makes me super angry in a Sonic platformer, you know, the collectibles that basically are mandatory and makes the levels go on for way too fast, despite the main purpose of the game is to reach the end as fast as you can. These levels go on for 5 to heck even 10 minutes at the worst at times, and you only get a certain amount of 1-ups, and 1-ups are stingy a lot of the times. It goes backwards from Sonic Advance 2, where it just felt like, oh, it gave you a nice balance of 1-ups. This game does not give you a nice balance of 1-ups, and it makes you want to drive up a wall. And here is the worst part about all this, and this is something I realized way later into the game than I realized. If you want to play as Cream, Knuckles, or Amy, you have to play as Sonic in order to unlock them. You can't just switch to play as Tails, you have to play him as Sonic. And Sonic in this game, like I said earlier, controls like other garbage. And just the longer I was playing it, the longer I was just slowly just becoming numb to everything. My world started becoming black and white, and I didn't want to just come off as another Sonic hero. I wanted to actually deep dive into this game, but this game wasn't giving me anything to work with. And you know, I don't know why people in the modern era complain about Sonic Forces having classic Sonic and him controlling like garbage when this game exists. I truly do not know what to say. Sonic Advance 3 is the worst out of the trilogy, and it's by a long shot. And it's from a lot of small things to a lot of big things to a lot of irritations that just make me feel like this game was a big hunk of nothing. Man, this game fell off so hard from Sonic Advance 2. I mean, Sonic Advance 3 came out in June of 2004. That should have given them enough time to, you know, like make the game playable, make it actually good. But no, it just decided to throw everything at the wall and see what stuck. This game is just bad, and I'm sorry for people that do generally love this game. I couldn't get into it. This game is one of the worst Sonic games, and I'll stand by that. And hey, you know what? I want to talk about some other stuff that's not related to Sonic. But before that, I just want to say this has been an incredible ride going through every single Sonic Advance game, from the good to the great to the what the heck was this game. I enjoyed this ride, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I just don't want people to see that I only talk about Sonic games here. I mean, yes, I have talked about other games in the past, but I felt like that I was getting trapped in this Sonic world that I just couldn't escape from, that I just had to keep talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know what? I'm going to change that. There is so many other gaming experiences out there that I just don't have to be trapped to the one blue hedgehog. I will forever love Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's never my full identity. For instance, I could be the guy that talks about My Hero games, because who the heck is talking about My Hero games? Thank you, PlayStation. I got these games that like no one ever really talks about or goes fully in depth with. Like these games are games that like need to be talked about. They need to be loved more often. They need to inspire to help someone create stuff. They even need to, oh my gosh, out of all options. Now don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not completely distancing myself from Sonic. This is my favorite franchise of all time. But you know what? I'm going to expand my horizons to finally set sail on the high open seas and talk something else full of change. And you know what? It's gonna feel good. So good, in fact, that I chugged down an entire thing of Mountain Dew Code Red. That was probably where the hallucinations started coming from.